So hello dear students, a warm welcome to all of you to my YouTube channel YK Kazi. So why I had created this channel? Because we are facing COVID-19 pandemic. So I have uploaded some recordings of my lecture. Actually this is not the normal YouTube videos. These are the recordings of our Zoom lectures. So I have compiled some lectures according to PCI syllabus of Dr. Bamu University. So here you will see some chapters in different parts. So let's start with the first chapter, aldehydes and ketones. So today's topic of interest is carbonyl compounds. So we have to wind up this topic also. So it's very simple for us now because we had covered carboxylic acids. Okay. Now I think this is the last chapter in our syllabus. So we have to cover. So what are carbonyl compounds? See on the right side, you may find this C double bond O group, which represents the carbonyl compound. So these carbonyl compounds are not stuck to aldehyde and ketones. It may be carboxylic acid or the derivatives of carboxylic acid such as amide, esters, and many more compounds, acidazide, etc. So this is the representation of your carbonyl compounds that you may find this C double bond O group. So if you see the structure of aldehyde, so you may find one hydrogen on one side of your carbon and one R group on the second side. So this is your R CHO aldehyde. R may be alkyl or aryl group. Okay? It may be either a alkyl group CH3 or C2H5 or aryl group, for example benzene group. Okay? Or the related aromatic compounds. In case of ketone, you may find two R groups on both the sides of your C double bond O that represents your ketone. So this is your ketone. C double bond O. Next. So what happens in some cases? See, you may find this C double bond O as a substituent functional group, not the main functional group. For example, if you have an example of organic compound, then you may find that this is your carboxylic acid, butanoic acid, and on the third position you may find this C double bond O group also. So in that case, this carbonyl group is not the main functional group. This is the substituent functional group, and where you have to write the prefix. For example, oxo could be C double bond O. Okay, so for example, cyanide will now become nitrile will now become cyano. Okay, that case is, for example, amine now will become amino group. Okay, and hydroxyl group will means alcohol now will become hydroxy. Okay, so your carbonyl now will become oxo group. Next, so if you see the structures of aldehyde, see on the right side CHO group is there in all these three examples. So in any cases of aldehydes, the terminal group is your aldehydic group. So no need to give any numbering to this group. Of course, this is number one. So see the examples. First example is propanol. So on the right side you may find CHO group. On the left side you may find two carbon-containing groups C2H5. Okay, CH2 and CH3. Butanol and finally pentanol. So we can increase the chain of R group. We can place some aromatic ring also. We can place some substituents on the side chain also. Okay. So the thing to understand or to consider is that the terminal group is your CHO group in case of aldehyde. Okay. So how to name this aldehydic group, functional group or aldehydes? See some examples. Again, you have to follow the rules of IUPAC nomenclature. You have to select the parent chain, the longest possible chain. So you have to count the number of carbon atoms in a chain. The terminal group is your CHO group. Okay. So see the examples. Your first example is butanol. Okay. Your second example is not corresponding to your butane. This is your propane. Okay. And there is one functional group on the second position of your propane. That's why the name of this compound is propanol, 2-methyl propanol. The third example is a single carbon unit containing aldehyde, that is methanol. According to common naming system, this is known as formaldehyde. And fourth example is ethanol. It is also known as acetaldehyde. Okay. So how to name this compound? According to common naming system, the word aldehyde will come in the naming. For example, formaldehyde, acetaldehyde, propionaldehyde, butyraldehyde. In case of IUPAC nomenclature, we will replace the E of alkane by Al, al. That's why if it is a single carbon unit containing alkane, methane, so now methane will become methanol and ethane will become ethane. Now ketones, what are ketones? See this structure. This is the simple and the basic of first ketone. Any example? This is your acetone. According to common naming system, how we write the naming of this ketone? This is known as your to name this ketone, you have to end with ketone as a word, and before that we have to write down the what different type of alkyl groups are attached to this ketone. Okay, so it may be alkyl ketone, or if same alkyl groups are there, so we can say that dialkyl ketone. See the examples. The example is your first ethyl methyl ketone. Here to name this according to common naming system, what we have to do, we have to follow the alphabetical order. So two functional groups are there, methyl and ethyl. So E comes first. So this is your ethyl methyl ketone, ethyl alkyl ketone. The second example, two ethyl groups are there, so diethyl ketone. The third example, you find methyl and propyl group is there. So we will start with methyl propyl ketone. You may find some aromatic ketones also. There on one side you may find this alkyl group, on the another side you may find some aromatic ring. See the example, acetophenone, which is having CH3, C double bond O, and phenyl ring. And the second example is your benzophenone. On both these sides, the R groups are aromatic, means your phenyl ring. So how to name these compounds? So this basically compounds, we can say that these are the derivatives of your carboxylic acids. The naming corresponds to carboxylic acid. So what we are going to do, we are replacing the IC acid according to common naming system. What we are doing, we are replacing the IC acid of your carboxylic acid with O-phenol. For example, if it is made up with the help of acetic acid, what we are doing, we are replacing IC acid of acetic acid, and at the end we write as O-phenol. So acetic acid now will become acetophenol, and benzoic acid now will become benzophenol. Okay. Now, how to write the IUPAC name of these ketones? So what we are doing, we are replacing the E of your alkane with -one. So in this case, there is no hard and fast rule that it should be a terminal keto group, because it cannot be a terminal keto group or oxo group. It will be in the center. So we have to see the position of this C double bond O group. It may be either, if the compound is 4 carbon unit compound, it may be either on the second position or third position. So according to that, we have to number the keto group, or we have to name the compound on the basis of numbering of or position of this keto group. So see the example. This is your 2-butanone. Second example is your, in third position you may find this oxo group, 3-pentanone. On the next example, the C double bond O group will shift it to the left direction. So it is 2-pentanone. So the second way to write this naming of this ketone is pentane 2-one instead of 2-pentanone, and pentane 3-one instead of 3-pentanone. This is again the method to write the naming of ketone. These are some examples of cyclic ketones. So what we had done, we had placed one keto group over a cyclohexane ring. So now it became cyclohexanone. Cyclohexane now will become cyclohexanone. Cyclohexane carbaldehyde. This is the example of aldehyde, cyclic aldehyde. Cyclohexane carbaldehyde. Cyclohexane methanol. And next example is your cyclohexyl ethanol. First example is methanol, and this is your cyclohexyl ethanol. Are you getting these examples? Are you getting the naming system? Okay. So next examples are the aromatic, not the cyclic, aromatic aldehyde or ketone. Okay. So see the basic example in case of aromatic aldehyde. This is your benzaldehyde. In case of ketone, it is your acetophenone. You can say that 1-phenyl ethanol according to IUPAC nomenclature is 1 Your C double bond O will get number 1. Okay, your methyl group will get number 2. This is your one enzyme you can know. In the next example, this is your example. Now, what I am saying initially, that if it is not a main functional group, the C double bond O is not a main functional group, you may find some another functional group which is superior to that of your this carbonyl group. For example, on the highest order you may find carboxylic acid ester, etc. Okay, so after that there is the number your aldehyde and ketone will come. So what we will do, we will start the numbering from the end, which is having the functional group, main functional group COH2, and according to this your carbonyl group will get number 4. How to write the naming, numbering, naming of this compound is 4-oxo pentanoic acid. Second example, see the second example. This is the example of aldehyde. Ketone. No, this is again carboxylic acid. So now your carbonyl group is on the last terminal end. Okay, so it will get number 5 instead of number 4. So it is your 5-oxo pentanoic. Okay. The last example. This is now your carboxylic acid. Now, while comparing the preference of or priority of aldehyde or ketone, aldehyde will get the priority or dominancy. So we will start the numbering from aldehydic end. Okay. In that case, this is your 4-oxo. In your organic compound is aldehyde. So 4-oxo pentane. Are you getting this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, physical properties of aldehydes and ketones. So what is the appearance of aldehydes and ketones? And what is the solubility of aldehyde and ketones? And what is the volume point and melting point of aldehydes and ketones? So, if you see the simple aliphatic ketones and aldehydes, they are basically liquids at room temperature, and some compounds are liquids at below room temperature, means minus 21 degrees Celsius or 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, see the examples. So your example is formaldehyde and ethanol. We can say that acetaldehyde. It's 2 compounds. So odor. What is the odor of these aliphatic aldehydes? They are having unpleasant and pungent smell. Okay. And in case of ketones and aromatic aldehydes, they have pleasant and sweet odor. So maybe this odor is easily detectable in the labs. So it is having a typical sweet odor. Okay. Physical properties of some aldehydes and ketones. Now we have to see the boiling points, melting points, and density of the aldehydes and ketones. So here in this table you may find the examples of aldehydes. Now see the boiling points. The first compound in this series is formaldehyde, which is having minus 21 degrees Celsius. Acetaldehyde 20. If you see the boiling points, if we increase the molecular weight, or if we increase the what we can say that we increase the alkyl groups homologous series, so we will get increase in boiling points. Okay, so benzaldehyde now it will boil at 179 degrees Celsius because it is a big molecule, and your methyl propanol will boil at 64 degrees Celsius. Okay. So if we increase the molecular weight, definitely the boiling point will increase. Now what about density? Because some compounds in aldehydes and ketones are soluble in water and some will not. Okay. So if it is not soluble in water, they will either separate out from the water, either they will be in the bottom or they will float on the surface of the water. Okay. So it is showing that aliphatic aldehydes and ketones are less dense than water. They will float on the water, and aromatic members will settle at the bottom. Okay. So see the boiling points of ketones. It is on the higher order. Okay. If we compare propanol here, it is having 48 degrees Celsius, and propanone 56. Then here butanol 75, butanone 79. Okay. So you may find there is increase in boiling point if we compare the same molecular weight aldehydes and ketones. These are some examples. If we increase the molecular weight, again we are facing increase in the boiling point of aldehydes and ketones. Now, here you may find a chart, a comparison chart between carboxylic acid, alcohol, aldehyde, ketone. Okay, this is the comparison chart. So, see the colors. The purple color of acids is on the higher side. It shows that carboxylic acid will boil at higher temperatures. After that, the number of your alcohols, then aldehydes and ketones, and finally your alkanes. So the highest boiling point is of your carboxylic acid. On the lower side, you may find your alkane, aldehyde, and ketones. Okay. Solubility. So, is your aldehyde and ketone soluble in water or not? The answer is yes, because it is having polar structure, and so this polar bond or C double bond O will definitely soluble in polar solvent. If we increase the molecular weight, it will not soluble in water. It will partially soluble in water. It will soluble in organic solvents. Okay. So which effect comes here? Effect is your intermolecular hydrogen bonding again. So hydrogen of your positive pole of your water molecule will bind with negative pole oxygen of your carbonyl group, and this interaction is known as hydrogen bonding, which is required for solubility of any compound in water. Okay. So ethanol and propanol are miscible in water in all proportions because they are having low molecular weights. Propanol, which is known as acetone, this is the volatile compound which is miscible in water. Okay. The problem is that this is carcinogenic. Carcinogenic means
Cancer causing.
causing compound. So you have to use some alternative instead of this acetone. Okay. Benzene is again a carcinogenic compound or organic solvent. So according to green chemistry rule, what we are doing nowadays globally, this rule is followed, and some radius compounds or solvents will be replaced with the help of alternatives. Okay. So nowadays there is a trend to use green chemistry or the rules of green chemistry, where we replace the hazardous compounds with some alternatives which are safe. Okay. Methanol means formaldehyde. Basically, the boiling point of methanol is minus 21 degrees Celsius. So this is not a liquid. This is basically a gas at room temperature. Right? So this dissolves readily in water. Okay. Please unmute your mic. Sorry, mute your mic. Is there? So aqueous solution of this formaldehyde, which is known as formalin, are basically used to preserve biological specimens. Okay, you may find some companies where there are some areas, defined areas, class 1, class 2, class 100. Okay, so why this? There is the need to build these areas to prevent the human being from this area to enter in these areas, because in that areas biological specimens, microbes will be there. Okay, so maybe they will be degrade at room temperature, or they will get oxidized due to the presence of air. So these compounds will be kept in the presence of formalin. Okay, it is basically used in that areas. But the problem is that this methanol or formaldehyde is highly toxic. So what we had covered the naming of aldehydes and ketones and physical properties of aldehydes and ketones. This part is preparation of aldehydes and ketones. How to prepare these aldehydes and ketones? Maybe this is not difficult for you. So methods are very simple. So how to prepare these aldehydes and ketones? We will start. The first method is by dehydrogenation, or we can say oxidation of alcohols. Oxidation of alcohols, which is anicobacterium. What we are doing, we are again replacing hydrogens of oxygen, this alcohol. So after removal of this hydrogen, we can say that dehydrogenation will get a molecule of either aldehyde or ketone. See the first example. Example is your, which alcohol is there? This is alcohol. This is your methanol, right? Single carbonyl alcohol methanol. So after oxidation, it gets converted into what? Methanol will get converted into formaldehyde. Okay. So this is the example of primary alcohol which gets converted into aldehyde. Next sign, see this secondary alcohol. Name of this alcohol is? Can anyone? Which alcohol is there?
2-propanol.
This is 2. This is your 2-propanol.
Isopropyl alcohol.
Isopropyl alcohol. Very good. So we can use secondary alcohol also. Okay. See the catalyst. In the first case, some metal is there. In the second case, copper metal is there. So after heating, what we are getting? We are getting ketone from this secondary alcohol and aldehyde from primary alcohol. Okay. This is the distinguishing point. If someone asks you some questions that how to prepare ketone from alcohol, we have to use secondary laboratory preparation. So that is the method here. One basic problem is that in the last lecture, what we had seen the preparation of carboxylic acids, methods to prepare carboxylic acid, and one of the method is your alcohol, right? So alcohol gets converted into carboxylic acid. So again, we are saying that alcohol is the method to prepare aldehyde. So how it is possible? Because if we do this oxidation at controlled level, we can prepare aldehyde in ketone. And if we use strong oxidizing agents, then definitely it gets your aldehyde or ketone which is forming gets converted into carboxylic acid. Okay. So here in this case, what we have to do, we have to use milder oxidizing agent, not the strong oxidizing agent. Okay. This is the example of milder oxidizing agent. It is your chromium oxide. Okay. See this is very good representation. If we follow the upper route where we used the mild oxidizing agents, potassium dichromate, and we heated the solution, what we are getting aldehyde. If we will not stop this reaction, it again proceeds and it gets converted into carboxylic acid. If we used strong oxidizing agent KMnO4 in place, if we reference this reaction mixture, what we are getting, we are not getting molecule of aldehyde or ketone, we are getting directly carboxylic. Are you getting? This is the matter. This is the synthesis of aldehyde from alcohol. Now, suppose this is the assembly where we are going to synthesize our aldehyde. So, are you seeing this cursor? My mouse.
Yes, sir.
See on the left side, what we are adding in this RBF, what we are adding the starting material ethanol, alcohol. See the boiling point of alcohol, it is 78 degrees Celsius. Okay. After that, what we are adding? Potassium dichromate or sodium dichromate and some amount of dilute acid, because this oxidizing agent will act in the presence of acidic medium. Okay. So this is the reaction mixture. So we are heating this reaction mixture and this assembly. What is this assembly? This is basically a distillation assembly. Okay, some amount of liquid will evaporate and will condense. On the second side, we are collecting this liquid. Okay, so here you may find water inlet and outlet. This is basically your condenser. Okay, so this is your assembly. This is your condenser. So the gaseous or vapors will get condensed into your liquid. So what we are doing, see this upper part. We are controlling the temperature. So initially we are warming this solution at 21 degrees Celsius. Why we are saying that we are not heating, we are warming? Because if we heat below 40 degrees Celsius, this process is known as warming, not heating. So we have to just warm, we have to not heat above 40 degrees Celsius. So we are getting at 21 degrees Celsius, and this is the boiling point of your ethanol. If you have to collect ethanol, you have to control the temperature condition. So if we increase the temperature, but if we increase the temperature above 70 degrees Celsius, what is the problem with this? There is the chances of oxidation of this entire oxidation of this compound, and your carboxylic acid again comes in this class, and you will get a mixture of your aldehyde or carboxylic acid, or you will get the plain carboxylic acid, not your ethanol. Okay, so by applying this process, by this knowledge, you can synthesize your ethanol. See, this is the temperature. So your temperature should be not less than 21 degrees Celsius and not more than 70 degrees Celsius. So this reaction will take around 20 minutes. See, 20 minutes, and you will get your ethanol. Now, can we prepare carboxylic acid from secondary alcohol? No, we cannot prepare carboxylic acid from secondary alcohol. So if we take secondary alcohol as a starting material, this is very easy method for us. We can easily synthesize ketone. So see the reaction. There is a difficulty to break this bond between carbon and CH3 group. It will require a strong oxidizing agent plus high temperature also. So at low temperature we can easily synthesize ketone. Okay. Because this ketone will not get converted into carboxylic acid because temperature is very low. If we increase the temperature, what will happen? You will get carboxylic acid also, there are some other products also. So there is a difficulty to separate these two mixture. So this is not a useful method. Next, the second method. Second method for the synthesis of your carboxylic, your aldehyde and ketone is reduction of your acid chlorides. See what is your acid chloride? It is having this RC double bond O Cl group. So we can reduce this, and we will get a molecule of aldehyde. So there is a liberation of hydrochloric acid gas. So we will synthesize a molecule of aldehyde from this.
Sir, आवाज
नहीं आ रही? आ रही है?
प्रॉपर नहीं है.
प्रॉपर नहीं आ रही है. कॉस्टो पे कौन है? कौन बोल रहे हैं? हेलो. कौन वॉइस में से कौन बोल रहे हैं?
आ रही सर आवाज अभी.
वही बोल रहा है. आपको अब इस मर्तबा आपको बालकनी में बैठना पड़ेगा.
नहीं अभी आ रही आवाज आपकी.
आ रही है ना? ठीक है. तो ये मैटर आप लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है?
हाँ सर.
सिंपल. यहाँ पर एक चीज का ध्यान क्या रखेंगे? कैटालिस्ट का ध्यान रखेंगे. आपको बेरियम सल्फेट या लीड आपको यूज करना रहेगा. ओके. और वो सल्फर को पॉइजन किया हुआ रहेगा, मतलब एक प्रोसेस होगा, वो करने के बाद आपको रिएक्शन मिलेंगे. रिडक्शन होगा आपके एसिड क्लोराइड का और आपको मिलेगा आपका अल्टीमेट. नेक्स्ट मैटर. अभी यहाँ पर ये वाले रिप्रेजेंटेशन को अगर हम लोग देखें तो इससे एक चीज हमको समझ में आ रही. फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट आप लोग देखो, कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड और असाइल क्लोराइड विल गेट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू अल्डिहाइड एंड अल्कोहल. तो ये मेथड को हम लोग बोलेंगे रिडक्शन, है ना. अगर हम लोग इन लोग को रिड्यूस करते तो हमको अल्डिहाइड भी मिल जाता, अल्कोहल भी मिल जाता. अगर हम अल्कोहल को राइट टू लेफ्ट अगर हम लोग देख रहे हैं, इसका अपोजिट है कि अगर हम लोग अल्कोहल को ऑक्सीडाइज करें तो अगेन हम लोग को यही चीजें मिल जाती है जो हमारे स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल है. तो दोनों भी मेथड बहुत ज्यादा इफेक्टिव है कि जो चीज आप इसका मेथड ऑफ प्रिपरेशन है आपके अल्कोहल का या अल्डिहाइड का, वही इसका केमिकल रिएक्शन है अल्डिहाइड और अल्कोहल का, या स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल का मेथड ऑफ प्रिपरेशन है. नेक्स्ट, थर्ड मेथड फॉर द सिंथेसिस ऑफ योर अल्डिहाइड एंड कीटोन. दिस मेथड इज बेसिकली यूज्ड फॉर द सिंथेसिस ऑफ कीटोन्स, ओके, एंड एरोमेटिक कीटोन्स, क्योंकि यहाँ पर अल्काइलेशन ही एसाइलेशन है. ओके, this is known as Friedel-Crafts acylation method. So here we are using some aromatic compound, for example say benzene, and we will attack the, what is this, acid chloride, right, acetyl chloride or benzoyl chloride. After attacking this, your acylation will take place. Your CH3C double bond O group will place on your benzene ring. And here we have to use Lewis as a AlCl3 removing chloride. This is the method for the preparation of ketones. So the first example we had synthesized acetophenol. The second method we had synthesized benzophenol. Okay, these two aromatic phenols are there, ketones are there. So see the starting material and reagent for this reaction. Next method is method number 4. Decarboxylation of calcium salts of your carboxylic acid. Okay, so calcium salts. So we will eliminate or we will evaporate the carbon dioxide or we will remove the C double bond O. We are getting ketone from this reaction. Okay, so see, this is the calcium salt of your acetic acid, and after heating at 400 degrees Celsius, what we are getting from acetic acid, we are getting
Acetone.
नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल में क्या दिख रहा है? Which acid is there? वेरी सिंपल. कल कार्बोक्सिल जाए हम लोग ने पढ़ा ना, COO माइनस, बस उसको R ग्रुप अटैच रहता है ना. पहले वाले केस में मिथिल है, सेकंड वाले केस में फिनिल है. एरोमेटिक कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड कल पढ़ा था हम लोग ने.
हाँ सर.
कौन सा था? कार्बोक्सिलेट आयन में मैं क्या ऐड करूंगा तो कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड बनेगा. H ऐड करूंगा, राइट?
हाँ.
H ऐड करके देखो कौन सा दिख रहा है आपको एग्जांपल.
फिर क्या बोलते हैं इसको?
बहुत फेमस है इसका. मेल्टिंग पॉइंट 122 है. प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड कंपाउंड है. अरे दिस इज योर बेंजोइक एसिड. भूल गए क्या? बेंजोइक एसिड ऐसा ही होता है केमिस्ट्री में, मालूम है क्या?
हाँ.
बहुत वोलाटाइल है, बहुत वोलाटाइल. कभी ब्रेन में से निकल के मसल्स में आ जाता है ये. प्रॉब्लम विद ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री. थोड़ा थोड़ा रोज टाइम देना ही पड़ेगा. और ये चीज आप लोग के साथ नहीं हो रही है, ये चीज हमारे साथ भी होती है. अभी एक साल बाद पढ़ाने बैठेंगे तो कुछ भी नहीं मालूम रहेगा जब तक पीपीटी खोल के देखेंगे. तो यही चीजें थोड़ा सा हम लोग को अलग रहना पड़ेगा. तो अगेन हम लोग अगर एरोमेटिक कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड ले रहे तो हमको एरोमेटिक कीटोन मिलेगा. ठीक है, बाय प्रोडक्ट दिस इज योर कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट. कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट क्यों? ये कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड निकला है. दैट विल इंटरैक्ट विद योर कैल्शियम. यू विल गेट अ मॉलिक्यूल ऑफ कैल्शियम. यहाँ पर कुछ और एग्जांपल्स है कि अगर हम लोग ने ऐसा कैल्शियम सॉल्ट लिया है, कैल्शियम सॉल्ट ऑफ कार्बोक्सिल लिया है जिसमें दो अलग अलग कैल्शियम सॉल्ट हम लोगों ने लिया और उनको रिएक्शन करा के देखा है, तो इसको हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे? क्रॉस डिकार्बोक्सिलेशन रिएक्शन बोलेंगे. तो ये वाले रिएक्शन से हम लोग को अल्डिहाइड मिलेगा, नॉट कीटोन. समझ आई? यहाँ पर फर्स्ट वाले एग्जांपल में हम लोगों ने लिया है, क्या लिया है? कैल्शियम सॉल्ट ऑफ योर एसिटिक एसिड. सेकंड वाले एग्जांपल में कैल्शियम सॉल्ट ऑफ योर फॉर्मिक एसिड. दोनों को हम लोग ने कंबाइंडली हीट किया है, तो वो बेसिस पे हम लोग को कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट मिला प्लस हमारा एसिटिक एसिड हम लोग को, सॉरी एसिटाल्डिहाइड हम लोग को मिलता है. ये वाले रिएक्शन. तो अगर दो डिफरेंट हम लोग यूज करें तो अल्डिहाइड मिलेगा, दो सेम वाले यूज करते हैं हम लोग तो हम लोग को कीटोन मिलेगा. अगेन अगर हम लोग कैल्शियम सॉल्ट की जगह पर सोडियम सॉल्ट यूज कर रहे हैं फॉर एग्जांपल, डिकार्बोक्सिलेशन होगा तो यस डिकार्बोक्सिलेशन होगा. बैकग्राउंड वॉइस इसकी भी चल रही है, माइक को म्यूट करो प्लीज. तो डिकार्बोक्सिलेशन होगा ये केस में. और यहाँ पर आपके पास में आपको जो भी बनता हुआ दिख रहा है वो है आपका अल्केन, नॉट अल्डिहाइड एंड कीटोन. दिख रहा है? तो ये वाले केस में आपको अल्डिहाइड कीटोन नहीं बनेंगे. हम लोग के लिए मेथड कौन सा है? कैल्शियम सॉल्ट ऑफ कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड. Next method is method number 5, catalytic hydration of alkynes. One question from my side, hydration मतलब क्या? हाइड्रेशन किसको बोलेंगे? बॉयज में कौन है?
Addition of
hydrogen.
बॉयज
Oh, sorry.
बॉयज में है क्या कोई?
ऋतिक.
ऋतिक है क्या? ऋतिक बॉयज में मेरे को किसकी आवाज आती है मेरे को ये भी मालूम करना है. बहुत अच्छा लगता है मेरे को, सिंसियरिटी दिखती है उसमें. अरे अभी तो बता दो नाम.
ऋतिक.
ये जब टाइम आया ना पूछने का तो तुम लोग ऐसा करते हो। हाइड्रेशन मतलब क्या? बहुत सिंपल है, मेरे को नहीं लगता डिफिकल्ट है क्वेश्चन। कोई भी नहीं बोलेगा अभी, है ना? देखो भला कितने पार्टिसिपेंट है यहाँ पर। यहाँ पर मुझे दिख रहे हैं 19। अरे बाबा, रेशियो तो कम हो गया पूरा, ये तो उल्टा हो रहा है।
सर डेली यही है।
डेली यही है ना?
हाँ
मतलब सुबह सुबह तुम लोग एकदम जोश में रहते हो,
सुबह भी 85 रहती।
शाम में होश खो बैठते हो। ठीक है, व्हाटएवर, अब क्या कर सकते, जो भी टाइम स्लॉट मिला है प्रीवियस के लिए तो यही करना पड़ेगा। कल के दिन तो आई थिंक अपना OC2 का लेक्चर है ना?
हाँ सर।
है ना आप लोग बच्चे? तो हाइड्रेशन मतलब एडिशन ऑफ वाटर,
हाइड्रोजन।
हाँ, एडिशन ऑफ योर वाटर। नो, इट इज नॉट हाइड्रोजन,
ओनली हाइड्रोजन सर।
हाइड्रोजन।
नो नो नो, हाइड्रेशन बोला मैंने, नॉट हाइड्रोजनेशन। तो हाइड्रेशन मीन्स
ओनली हाइड्रोजन।
नो, वॉइस में से किसी ने सही बोला है।
एडिशन ऑफ वाटर।
यस,
वाटर।
एडिशन ऑफ वाटर।
एडिशन ऑफ वाटर।
कौन बोल रहा है, नाम बोलो।
अमीन।
Very good, very good. So addition of water is known as your hydration, and hydrogenation means addition of hydrogen. तो एक चीज आप लोग ने ध्यान रखनी है, एक रूल यहाँ पर फॉलो होगा। पॉजिटिव एंड आपका एक साइड पे ऐड होगा और निगेटिव एंड आपका दूसरे साइड पे डबल बॉन्ड। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू आर टेकिंग अल्काइन एज ए स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल, so what you are getting, the triple bond will get converted into double bond. Okay, तो दोनों चीज दिख रही है आपको। H2O का H एक जगह ऐड हुआ है डबल बॉन्ड वाले कार्बन पर, और दूसरा वाला OH ग्रुप जो है वो सेकंड कार्बन पे ऐड हुआ है डबल बॉन्ड के। रूल कौन सा फॉलो होगा
सर? एंटी मार्कोनिकॉफ।
एंटी
मार्कोनिकॉफ।
मार्कोनिकॉफ। एनी अदर आंसर्स?
मार्कोनिकॉफ।
But what is the Markovnikov rule? The positive part of your reagent will add to that carbon atom, double bonded carbon atom, which is having least possible hydrogen. Sorry, least or greatest?
लिस्ट।
Least. Okay, right. So which is having least hydrogen atoms. So this is your Markovnikov rule. तो वो बेसिस पे आपको मिला क्या, यहाँ पर आपको एक प्रोडक्ट मिला है जिसमें OH ग्रुप भी दिख रहा है और डबल बॉन्ड भी दिख रहा है। तो दिस इज नोन एज योर इनॉल फॉर्म। तो कीटो इनॉल टॉटोमरिज्म होगा, और वो बेसिस पे क्या होगा, ये डबल बॉन्ड OH ले लेगा और OH अपने हाइड्रोजन को वहां पर दे देगा, बराबर?
यस।
तो ये बेसिस पे हाइड्रोजन इधर जाएगा, इसका डबल बॉन्ड इसको आएगा और आपका बन जाएगा कीटोन। दिस इज अगेन ए मेथड फॉर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ योर कीटोन। कीटो इनॉल टॉटोमरिज्म हो रहा है। कैटालाइटिक का मतलब क्या, यहाँ पर एक हम लोग को कैटालिस्ट लगने वाला है कि यहाँ पर कोई, यहाँ पर कैटालिस्ट दिख रहा है हम लोग को, मर्क्यूरिक सल्फेट। टेम्परेचर थोड़ा सा है बढ़ा हुआ, 60 बोल रहे हैं हम लोग इसको, तो हीटिंग भी देनी पड़ रही है हम लोग को, और डाइल्यूट हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड भी हम लोग को, सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड भी हम लोग को यूज करते हैं। दिस इज मेथड नंबर 5। कुछ और एग्जांपल्स यहाँ पर है। ये वाले केस में कंडीशन का टेंशन ही नहीं हम लोग को मार्कोनिकॉफ रूल का, ये दोनों एंड पर हमारे हाइड्रोजन हाइड्रोजन है। तो ये वाला जो मेथड है जिसमें अगर आप लोग ऐसा सिमेट्रिकल अल्काइन यूज कर रहे हो, है ना, यहाँ पर असिमेट्रिकल हम लोग ने यूज किया था जिसके एक एंड पर CH3 था, दूसरे एंड पर हाइड्रोजन था, तो आपको कीटोन मिला था। ये वाले मेथड में क्या हो रहा है, सिमेट्रिकल अल्काइन हम लोग ने यूज किया है, तो हम लोग को प्रोडक्ट क्या मिल रहा है, अल्डिहाइड। तो ध्यान में रखना कि दो कंडीशन है यहाँ पर, अल्डिहाइड और कीटोन सेम कंडीशन रहेंगी, कोई फर्क नहीं।
सिमेट्रिक।
नेक्स्ट मेथड इज ओजोनोलिसिस। बहुत ज्यादा कॉमन हो चुका है, मुझे नहीं लगता इतना इसको पढ़ना चाहिए हम लोग ने, राइट? तो ओजोनोलिसिस में क्या करते हैं हम लोग, स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल का भी डबल बॉन्डेड कंपाउंड लेते हैं हम लोग, बराबर है? तो डबल बॉन्ड ब्रेक होता है और वो कंडीशंस पर वहां पर ऑक्सीजन प्लेस हो जाते हैं, तो हम लोग को या तो दो सिमिलर अल्डिहाइड मिलेंगे या दो सिमिलर कीटोन मिलेंगे, या इट मे बी ए कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ अल्डिहाइड कीटोन और अल्डिहाइड कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड, जो भी हो, जो भी हम लोग ने स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल यूज किया है वो बेसिस पे हमको वैसे कंपाउंड्स मिलना शुरू हो जाएंगे। ध्यान में रखने वाली चीज ये है कि यहाँ पर हम लोग यूज करेंगे O3, बराबर है, एंड ए सॉल्यूशन ऑफ जिंक इन वाटर। ओके, दिस इज द कंडीशन फॉर दिस ओजोनोलिसिस। असिमेट्रिकल बता रहे हैं यहाँ पर। असिमेट्रिकल के केस में हम लोग क्या लिख रहे हैं, है ना? तो यहाँ पर सिमेट्रिकल है क्या? हाँ, यहाँ पर सिमेट्रिकल दिख रहा है आप लोग को एग्जाम्पल स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
यहाँ पर देखो कंपाउंड भी दो मॉलिक्यूल्स मिल रहे हैं हम लोग को, या तो दो अल्डिहाइड मिल रहे हैं सेम, या दो कीटोन सेम मिल रहे हैं। और सिमेट्रिकल के केस में आपको यू विल गेट ए मॉलिक्यूल ऑफ अल्डिहाइड प्लस कीटोन, बराबर है?
Yes, sir.
तो ये डिफरेंस और एक हम लोग को समझ में आया है यहाँ पर। सिमेट्रिकल करेंगे तो हम लोग को दोनों की चीज मिलेगी। तो ठीक है, आज के दिन हमारा मेथड्स ऑफ प्रिपरेशन हो चुका है अल्डिहाइड्स और कीटोन का। ध्यान में रखने वाली चीज आप लोग के लिए है कि स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल कौन सा यूज किया है, और स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल अगर आप लोग को याद आ जाता है तो डेफिनेटली आप लोग को वहाँ पर जो रिएजेंट लगाना है वो भी आपको याद ही आ जाएगा, और आपको ये भी याद आ जाएगा कि ऑक्सीडेशन करना है या रिडक्शन करना है। ये चीज इंपॉर्टेंट रहती है कि रिएक्शन में स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल याद करना है आप लोग को, ठीक है? तो ट्राई टू रिफर द पीपीटी और कोशिश करो इसको एक बार रिवाइज कर लीजिए। नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में हम लोग कवर करेंगे इसके केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज, कुछ एरोमेटिक अल्डिहाइड्स कीटोन्स को हम लोग को कवर करना है, कुछ नेम रिएक्शंस को हम लोग को कवर करना है, बेंजोइन कंडेंसेशन, पर्किन रिएक्शन एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा जो भी रहेंगे, ठीक है? तो मे भी सुबह हम लोग का लेक्चर होगा OC2 का कल के दिन, ये वीक मैं लेने वाला हूँ OC2, और आफ्टर शाम के टाइम पर हमारा यही कंटिन्यू रहेगा OC1। ओके
ओके सर।
तो वी विल
Thank you,
एंड
sir.
टुडेस मीटिंग। ओके,
Thank you, sir.